It's like she think that all the fucked up shit she doing gonna be fine if she tell herself she doing it for me. I gotta get the fuck out of here, man.
So for those who know the Power universe will know episode 8 tends to be one of the big ones, and if we were to rewind it back to season 1, episode 8, that was when we saw Unique ordering his crew to go and send a message, and so we saw Worrell and the rest of Unique's crew light up Lou on his night off, but as we all know, there are no nights off in this game, and so I'm expecting some of the same in episode 8. I'm expecting one of the best episodes of the season so far, with us seeing a fallout from Corinne telling Raq about Palomar. There's Kanan who looks as if he's opened the paternity results, and an exclusive clip of him telling Juke he's basically done with Raq. As always, lurking around the corner is going to be Detective Beck, who has her eyes set on Raq. But away from Raq and Kanan, there's Lou putting a gun to the DJ they paid to play Ziza's song on the radio, and also the fallout from Marco's death. So we're going to run through a quick preview of what we can expect for episode 8, breaking down any exclusive clips and images. But as usual, let's just start with the synopsis for A House Is Not a Home. And the synopsis reads, the rift between Raq and Kanan grows, and Kanan seeks comfort elsewhere. Marvin lays low, waiting for the consequences of his actions to blow over, and Raq sees dark clouds on the horizon. Now, earlier in the week, I broke down a literature-based meaning of A House Is Not a Home, and with Raq searching for a new house, we're gonna see Raq showing Kanan. But when you hear the saying, a home is where the heart is, it really is intriguing that they've used the term a house and not home. A homely atmosphere is what Raq has been trying to create ever since the start of season 2, but these relationships are broken beyond repair, and buying a new house away from Queens won't exactly help repair the relationships, because it really is about to get a whole lot worse.
And even now, I'm starting to realize maybe it was about some other shit anyway. Shit I ain't know at that time. Shit I wish I ain't know now.
So this was an exclusive clip that was released earlier in the week, and it makes sense that Kanan has probably opened the paternity results. Howard gave them to Kanan at the end of episode 6, and even though he thought about opening them in episode 7, he threw his bag on his bed, and I did have a thought whether Raq could find them before Kanan opens it. But it does seem like Kanan will open them when he's with Famous, and I can't wait to see his reaction. Even though we've seen him confide in Juke, I want to see what his initial reaction is and what he says to Famous, because even though I think he knows Howard is telling the truth, there is some part of him that doesn't fully believe him, because Raq just keeps adding lies on top of lies, and it's confused Kanan in the sense he doesn't know what to believe, which is what he told Juke. So I can understand Kanan being a little confused, but this will definitely eliminate any doubts and cause a shift in Kanan seeking comfort elsewhere, which may be with Detective Howard himself. Something else we need to be mindful of when it comes to the paternity results is Famous. Detective Howard described Famous as a clown, and he does tend to blab shit he isn't supposed to. So along with Famous finding out the truth, I wonder what happens when and if Juke, Marvin and Lou find out, because not only has Raq been lying to Kanan, she's been lying to all of them. But let's not forget, Raq hasn't just been lying about who Kanan's father is, she's holding a dark secret about her being a CI when she was 16. And this is something I highly doubt anyone knows, apart from Raq and Howard themselves, and it really is only a matter of time before we see a scene very similar to Power Book 2 Ghost, where Diana revealed all of Monet's secrets, and it really will cause a shitstorm when and if this does happen, because along with Raq being a CI for Howard, what other moves has she made that Kanan doesn't know about? The obvious one is killing Scrappy and making it look like a suicide. There could have also been moves made against Defcon, High Post, and potentially moving Marvin out the way so she could take over. And if this is something she really did with Howard's help, then Marvin won't be a happy man, especially because he's so big on loyalty and being there for his family.
Yo, but we'll never give up on family.
No doubt.
So let's move on to Marvin, and there are two parts to his story in episode 8. There's this broken relationship between him, Juke and Kenya, and then there's Marco's death. Now Marco's death really will cause a ripple effect, because Salvacelli will want answers as to who he was working with, and he's gonna ask Unique to get to the bottom of exactly who. But Unique knows it was Marvin, and it doesn't seem like he's gonna tell Sal. So what game is Unique playing? I think he goes back to a favor for a favor. If Unique does Marvin a favor, then he'll owe him one in return. And so we're gonna hear Unique warning Marvin, if he's still breathing, then he's talking. And he's talking about Dominic. And so there's a race. Who gets to Dominic first? Will it be Marvin or the Italians? Now, when it comes to Kenya, we saw how Marvin warned Juke in episode 7.
What matter is, She left. Left the both of us and kept going. Kenya ain't your mother.
And so we're gonna see Marvin come back to Kenya's place again in episode 8. And that's because despite Marvin warning Juke and Kenya, it hasn't stopped them from building this relationship. And sooner or later, something has to give. Because just like Raq, who doesn't want Howard in Kanan's life, Marvin doesn't want Kenya in Juke's. But there are definitely more heartbreaks in store for Juke. And with episode 8 being a big one in the Power universe, I'm expecting Juke's story to pick up some pace. And when that dark turn comes, it's gonna be brutal and it's gonna be quick. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we see some trouble with Corey. Juke only gave him her number because Kenya was watching. And I don't think she wants Kenya to know she's into girls, especially because she's a big churchgoer. But there's definitely more trouble on the horizon for Juke, either in the form of Kenya or Corey. But something else we do need to pay attention to when it comes to Juke is her returning her favor to Beck. She still owes Beck a favor because she got her Kenya's address and we haven't seen her come back for one in return. But with Juke seeing Howard approach James about Beck, she may warn the detective, who on the other side is sniffing around Raq. Now, Lou's someone who I described earlier in the week as someone who made a deal with the devil, but not only does he have issues with Cartier, he still hasn't heard Ziza's song on the radio. And so we're gonna see him bump into DJ Mo Craze, who he and Crown made a deal with. But it wasn't Lou he made a deal with, it was Crown. And since Crown's no longer in the picture, this is why he hasn't put Ziza's song on the radio. And so even though Crown is now dead, his past deals are still haunting Lou. But we are gonna see Lou mixing the streets with music and forcing DJ's hand. Whether it works is yet to be seen, but looking on is Ziza. Now, I'm still on the fence about whether Ziza can be trusted because I do believe she is a family member of Cartier. So Ziza's still one to watch, but I'm hoping she is Lou's ride or die. But elsewhere with Lou, I'm intrigued to see how this relationship with Raq develops further, especially when she finds out he took the money from the projects for his music studio. Because I went through how it's all set up for a tug of war between Lou, Raq and Cartier for Bulletproof Records. So as the synopsis says, problems may be on the horizon for Raq, but there are problems and dark clouds for everyone, including Lou, Marvin, and soon to be Jukebox. But that's a preview of episode 8. And is it over for Raq and Kanan? I definitely think so. Will Lou be able to get Ziza's song on the radio and a control over Bulletproof Records? I think Raq will definitely have something to say about that as well. And will Marvin get to Dominic before the Italians? This is an episode which I expect to explode at some point, because all those Power fans know there is a twist or a death in store. But drop all your thoughts and predictions down below on all things episode 8. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.